Hey guys, it's Super Death Show, and since you're watching this video, that means I've got a new page of Danger Vision out at badmusiczombies.com. Today I want to talk about a question that I get asked a lot on YouTube. Most of it is from, the question is mostly asked by people who just watched the You Should Make a Webcomic video, and the two videos that came after that. It's, where do I put my, my comic at? Where do I upload it to? Where can people read it at? And I've got two different suggestions for you guys for where to put your comic, because it's the only two that I've ever used. And one is paid and one is non-paid. Now, I'm going to start off with the paid one. It would be just go find yourself a good web host and install WordPress on it, and install some plugins like Webcomic or Comic Press or Comic Easel. I use Webcomic personally, but this one's going to cost money, but you do get a .com. So the cool thing about having this .com and all this web space thing is that, you know, there's nothing like having your own site. It's your place to call home for your comic, and you know, you're not sharing this space with anybody else. So you're going to get your domain, and you pretty much get to do what you want. But there's some drawbacks to it. The first one is it's going to cost money, and it's usually like $10, $12 a month. I guess that's like an average. I don't remember what I pay, because I chose to pay mine annually, so it comes out of the bank once a year, and I see it pop up in the summertime, and then it pays itself off, and then it goes on. So there's that. I personally use DreamHost. I don't have like a code or a link to give you for me to get money out of it, which I probably should have looked that up before I started this. But the other downside to having this web host is you got to do your own self-promotion. If you've already got like a large following on Tumblr and Twitter, it's not going to matter. Wherever you go, you're going to have your followers. Most of them are going to come and probably read your comic. So you ain't got to worry about that if you've got a following. If you don't, it's going to be hard to do self-promotion to get people into your comic, because I don't know. It's hard, okay? Another downside is since this is your website, your baby, you've got to take care of it. You've got to do everything yourself. You're going to have to learn some HTML and some CSS just so you can customize your theme, so your webcomic page looks really nice and the way you want it to look. Unless, you know, you're lucky and you got a buddy who's into web design and stuff like that. Other than that, you'll have to look up some tutorials and stuff. So that's the paid option. The free option is I would choose for the free option to be Tapastic. I really like Tapastic. The best thing about Tapastic is they've got this built-in community. It's like a social networking for people who make webcomics and people who read webcomics, and it's already there. You don't have to do the self-promotion, because people will find you. I think every time you post a page to your comic, it shows up on their newly updated list or something like that. I don't know entirely a lot about it, but I have put my webcomic on Tapastic, and it seems like it's way easier to get readers over there. And people are more inclined to follow a comic within that structure than to follow your RSS feed or your mailing list on your website, your domain, your main website for your comic. Another cool thing is on Tapastic, they've got these staff picks and spotlights and stuff like that. So if like one of the staff runs across your comic, or I don't know if it gets suggested or anything, but it could show up on their picks for the day, and that'll draw in a lot of followers and readers. I got a staff pick on my sketch comic thing on Tapastic, and it brought in a lot of readers. And another thing is they got this weekly feature thing, and Danger Vision got featured on it, and it brought in a whole lot of readers too. But the number one great thing about Tapastic is you're going to get a lot more feedback, since everybody's already signed up and signed in. You know, all they got to do is just go down and type in a comic and stuff. It can be said the same thing for your website. Like if you've got a host, because since it's on WordPress, it'll be whatever that comment system is that everybody uses on there. But it seems like not as many people use that. I can't even remember what it's called. But the downsides to Tapastic is, you know, your stuff is on someone else's server. If their server goes down, it's down, and your comic's down. And I don't know if they got like a customer support you could call. I'm sure they'd care less. You've got limitations in the page design, because it's all going to be themed to whatever Tapastic's theme is. And that's the great thing about WordPress and CSS and HTML is you can customize it to look any way you want to. And but yeah, they really limit the design of the page, and you have to keep your comics at a certain size. You have to make thumbnails. There's extra steps to making your comic and stuff, and but you know, there's no upkeep to it. You don't have to maintain the site. All you have to do is upload images and stuff. So those are my two picks. You can, if you've got money, I'm thinking like $100 and some a year. If you've got money to just, you know, pay for your website, then, you know, get yourself a host and set it up and look for some tutorials on how to customize themes and stuff like that. Or, you know, go over to Tapastic and just start uploading your shit over there. But probably the best way to do it is to just do both. You know, the more places your comic's at, the more eyeballs are going to be looking at it. And there's one last thing you could do if you don't want to use Tapastic or your own web host or something. If you're like a big Tumblr person, like you really love Tumblr, you can make a new Tumblr blog and then download the webcomic theme. And if you got a lot of Tumblr followers that, you know, really interact with you, then you can just pull your Tumblr followers over to your new webcomic. I mean, just they'll probably migrate over. I don't know. But anyways, I hope that answers that question, because, like I said, it's been asked a lot. This is the best answer I could give. I wanted to do this as a you should make a webcomic video, but I really can't think of a good way that this would be. I could make jokes and stuff visually, like I did on the other cartoon videos. So this is what you get. But I'll see you next time here for another Super Death Show with this comic thing going on. And if you know any other places to host comics or whatever, or any other options, you know, let me know, so maybe I can update this information that I've got, because all I've got is my personal experiences with it, and that's all I can go by. Okay, I'll see you next week on Super Death Show. See ya.
What the fuck are you doing, Mark?